the UK as a whole is not racist because you can go many different places and you'll be embraced. But it's society. It's not the UK. People in power who filter their messages down. The messages they put through that filter through to people and they take it in.
We all get them looks if you go to like a shop or Tesco and the security guys just kind of like it's standard, innit?
It's standard, but that's so bad that it's standard.
Normal, but
yeah.
You expect it.
And like when you're driving around like the black guy in an okay car.
London, same thing.
Yeah.
Get pulled.
I think everyone here has definitely been pulled.
Yeah, but
for no reason.
It's normal though, but
it's normal, but it shouldn't be.
Even in the back of my head, even if, of course, we're all legit people, but you see a police car, you automatically think, oh, I'm going to get pulled.
And if you got police like behind you when you're driving, you're like, start moving nervous. Always nervous, it's mad.
My cousin, so I've been in his car twice, and twice we've been pulled over and saying that there are drugs in the car.
Same thing. Young black man driving a car, police see you, pull you, say, oh, I've heard there's drugs in this car, something like that. There's no drugs. They search your whole car, embarrassing you.
It's embarrassing.
But it's like, that's normal. We all said that's normal. That's not good. It shouldn't be normal.
No, it shouldn't be. But I think even see us like, or playing up, pay move around here. I think now driving around, you can feel it even more so in a place like Scotland because there is probably even less black people than there is in England. So up here driving around, I've been pulled by police once, and I was just like, "What's this for, really?" Yeah. Told them I played for Motherwell, and it was happy days, and I was just like, that shouldn't work.
What if he did? You know?
Yeah, if I didn't, it's probably we're having a different conversation.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, definitely.
I remember I think it was the first lockdown. It was when all the stuff happened to the Black Lives Matter stuff, and I went to Asda one time, and I could just feel like presence from people looking at me the whole time, and I didn't go for an Asda. I didn't go for 3-4 days in a row because anytime I was walking there at that time, I didn't feel like I'm not home.
That's at the start, like when everyone was on Black Lives Matter. Now it's like, even the taking a knee, everyone just does it now because you just got to do it.
It's lost its meaning totally, from my opinion anyways. And I think at the start of it, when we first doing it, I thought, yeah, this is actually good. This is going to draw a lot of attention to it.
Yeah. And people ask questions like, why is he doing that? Why is he doing that? But now it's just dragging on.
It's pretty pointless.
A new message has to be sent now. Something else has to be done to reinforce it because I think everyone's probably tired of seeing taking a knee, and I'm at the point where I'm taking it, but I'm like, well, what am I doing it for anymore? Because everyone's just like, oh, let's just take a knee for kick-off. Like everyone's just like, it's an acceptance now. It's not a statement anymore. Like
Wilfred's interview thing about taking a knee and what he was saying about it, like he's not going to take the knee no more. But when you think about it, it's right. He's right. Everyone's even. You don't have to go on your knees to try and feel valued.
But that's what has to be done now. I think if everyone starts standing,
something
a new message will come again.
Brings more attention to the actual topic. And something has to change.
I think for the first 2 weeks, it was loud and clear. Then when all football started coming back and, they started doing it, I think it was lost. And then now teams coming out saying they're not doing it, the message has been lost, and the right has been lost.
You got to educate your kids. Like when that umbilical cord gets cut, you're not racist.
No, you're not. You're really not racist. You don't. No one's born a racist.
You got racially abused before.
I've been one time on the social media. Yeah, definitely. That was when I was at Wolves, 2 years ago. It was just an under-23s game, and we lost the game against, I think it was Southampton 3-1.
I was probably playing.
Yeah.
That's why you lost.
Yeah, and someone was just saying like, black fucker, this, you've been terrible, blah blah blah. And I just look at it and I was just in myself, if I score next week 2-3, then they're the best friends again. Like it makes actually no sense. It makes no sense. It's crazy. And you, Donny?
Once social media, I think, I can't remember, I think someone's calling it a monkey or something like that. But it was years ago, so I just didn't really take no notice of it. Yeah. Just left it.
When I was back in Yeovil, Fuso came on, walked to the edge of the pitch, and then somebody from the crowd said, "Oh, go back to your fucking country." Something along those lines. And I was like, I looked at the Fuso, I was like, "Oh, did you hear that?" He was like, "Yeah, I heard it." I was like, "Okay." Well, I just went back onto the pitch and just carried on playing, because what can you actually do?
Yeah.
How about you, D?
I was at City, we went away, I can't remember who was playing now, someone in Spain. I don't know what he said to me, but one of the boys is Spanish behind me, and he's told me what he said, and I turned around and he tried to spit on me.
Jeez.
So then I actually said, you know what, straight away I've just gone to swing. And I just thought, I couldn't care less what happens after this. Luckily, like, one of my teammates has caught me and it's all started kicking off. And after the game, I remember City put in a complaint and they got fined for it. Something, so I don't know, it could have been like 10 grand. I can't even remember. Something stupid. It's not going to affect the club anyway. If I get abused tomorrow on the pitch, I'm not getting on with the game. 1, I'm walking off. 2, I'm doing something about it. It's the only way. I'm not interested in football after that. Because race has nothing to do with football, but you're bringing it into it and then you're going to tell me to carry on. I'm going to get more reaction walking off and doing something about it than I would carrying on. You'll say, oh, well done, you carried on.
You tell the ref whatever, they'll just
dismiss it casually, innit?
So I don't know the way things are going to change, to be honest.
But I feel like with like, because obviously a lot of players have been getting abuse on social media, I think like Twitter and the Instagrams need to do something to actually validate these accounts.
You see the campaign thing?
Yeah, sign it. So you got to put your ID in or something. 100% sign it.
They have to do something like that to knuckle that down, because
To look after people as well.
you can't be just getting monkey face emojis being sent to you left, right, and
For
centre.
flipping no display
Exactly.
picture.
So they need to be identified.
It's nuts how deep it goes.
It's so deep.
It's everything, isn't it? It's like
So nothing.
me now, like if I reply to people on my clothing, for instance, I won't put a black emoji and I shouldn't do that. But it's so mad in some people's perceptions that will put them off. But that's how deep it goes sometimes. So I'll just use like an emoji, a yellow one that no one can say anything about.
It's crazy. When I was younger, I think probably all of you were told as well, like, we're always going to have to work harder than
Double as hard.
the other side.
Got to work extra hard, yeah. But it's just sad. That's just mad.
But that's just the reality, though, isn't it? Really.
It's just how it is now. It's not easy. It's not easy.
It's not easy.
It's not easy.
But it's not easy.
But work extra.
It's not until you get to like, well, I think me when I was playing that game, 17, you're aware of racism, but growing up, you don't take it in because you're just a kid playing with mates. Like, no one makes the point of it. It's not until you actually understand like a bit more about the world that you think, oh yeah, racism. Because when you're like 12, 13, 14, 15, you're not thinking about that.
100%. I remember when I was 7, I was in school. I had this teacher. I did not know anything about racism, and it turns out that she was racist. And she always put me in the corner of the room. I had to face the wall, and then she was doing like teaching class, like teaching that way. She never used to let me go to the toilet. I was young. I didn't understand any of it. I was really scared to say anything to my mom, because this was going on. Bear in mind, maybe 7 or 8 months. I had to do the year over because I wasn't educated well. So yeah, it's crazy, man. Like that she, to a 7-year-old kid, like can do this stuff, you know.
Teacher as well.
It's probably only when I turned professional that I realised that it's around. But I think before that, never thought of it as a kid.
Never.
That's it. Education. And just make sure it's loud and clear.
People need to get punished for that. It shouldn't be alright to
Heavy punishment.
heavy punishment.
Make sure they listen. Heavy punishment.
You've got small ears though, but make sure.
You can see how we are, like we're laughing and stuff. We shouldn't really be laughing at stuff like this, but it's just so normal. It's like it's casual, and it shouldn't be.
Ultimately, we don't want our kids to be going through what we go through on a daily basis.
We know we're going to raise our kids and you're going to be like, you're going to encounter this today, encounter
I
that.
have to give them
You're going to have to tell them before you let them out in the world, and then when they come home crying one day, you're going to have to be like, who did it? But that's it.
Exactly. Because you have to have that uncomfortable conversation with little Mugabi. Little Ben Nevis, you know them ones, huh? I need to find a one.
Pending transactions.
We're always going to be fighting against the tide, or like, if you must, we're always going to be, for me. It's not going to change in our lifetimes.
This is just the start of the change, I guess.
I think if it's going to change, it will start with our generation.
Yeah, has to.
But yeah, football just need to keep doing something different, just to keep the questions coming.
We have a slight advantage than just a black kid who goes to school because we play football. We're more accepted because of that. We have to use it.
People look up to you and respect you, so if there's someone watches this and they've just like one kid thinks like, oh, my mom's wrong or something, like, you know, something like that.
That's the start of it, no?
To start, one person.
Precisely.
Agree.